This is my very first episode and I could not be any more excited. This is something that I've wanted to do for so long, and I've tried to drag friends and family members in and no one would do it with me. So finally I just decided to live and let live. I was going to do it. So anyway, my name is Joyce and I'm glad you're here. My name is not Ruby. Ruby Moss is named after my grandmother. And so you'll hear many Ruby stories down through the time, I'm sure. I've been called Ruby a lot, so she's no longer with us, and her spirit lives on. And so that's why it's Ruby Moss, and my name is Joyce. So anyway, welcome, welcome, welcome. This podcast is going to be about happenings around our cottage, mostly crofting, and it's a home that's built with not so much money, but a lot of love. And so I'm just happy to be here with you. This is a lot harder than people make it look. I've watched all you podcasters for so long, and it just looks so easy, and you're so beautiful, and everything is perfect, and I'm just like, God, how in the world? But anyway, it's real. It's me. Like I said, this is going to be happenings around our cottage, and I'm coming to you from my croft room. I call it croft because craft just sounds so Ruby's generation. My grandmother was a great crocheter, and she was talented, I'm sure, in a lot of ways. But I think back of her crafting, and I've always thought craft was back to the Ruby generation. And when you tell people you're crafting, you can almost see it in their eyes, like, oh. So when my friends from the UK called it croft, they pronounce craft croft. I thought, oh, that sounds so much better. I'm going to croft. So I've kind of changed my word craft into croft. And this is my crofting room, what I call my nook. So it's where maybe I'll take a video or a short 360 at the end of the video, or at the end of the podcast, so you can see. It has all my yarn and everything, fabric, everything in here. I've tried to get a little bit more organized this time of the year, but my daughter, who's going to be doing the editing, said I wasn't allowed to clean, that it had to be real and authentic. So I did do a little bit of cleaning, just because I wanted to get organized for the new year. But there's still so much more to do, and I'm just not gonna worry about it. It is what it is, and we'll just have fun in here together. I kind of want to take on the homestead lifestyle. Homestead. I don't think the camera is getting much below here, but anyway, the homestead lifestyle, which is kind of funny. I told this to some girlfriends of mine last night, and I live in a neighborhood, just about an acre of land. There's houses all around me, a lot of woods, a lot of trees, so you can't really, I can't see my neighbors in my backyard in the summer months when the trees are all in bloom. But anyway, I laugh because I garden too, and you'll see a lot of that, I guess, in future episodes. But the back half of our yard I call the farm, and that's where our fire pit is. That's where my vegetable gardens are. There are a couple raised beds that I'm really not successful at, but I'm going to. But anyway, so I really want to take on the homestead lifestyle, although I hate to cook. We do a lot of eating out. I don't really vegetable garden. I have no animals. We have a cat. But really, it's all pure. And you know what? I think that's half the battle, isn't it? We're just going to fake it till we make it. I would love to have chickens. My husband is not so much in favor of that, but maybe we'll run a campaign, and somehow along the way we'll influence him. Maybe when the weather starts to warm up, I'll think of something fun to do. We'll start some kind of a campaign to get him on board with the chickens. So then I would have my eggs, and maybe I would do something with them. I would love a handmade wardrobe. Getting closer in my mind to that. So yeah, there's just a lot of dreams going on. And so this is going to be a journey together. Maybe you can watch a homestead neighborhood, homestead in a neighborhood evolve. Maybe not. Maybe it's much better in my head. We'll see. We'll play it out little by little by little. But yeah, it's just a fun life around here. There's 5 of us that live in the house, my husband and I, and then my daughter and her 2 daughters. And they are 5 and 7, and they're actually here today. I'm watching them. My daughter's a nurse, and so her kids are here, and I'm babysitting them, and they're supposed to be upstairs watching Netflix and playing on the iPad and being very quiet. Yes?
Did mine turn on the iPad yet?
No. Let a few shows go by, and then it's your turn. Okay? Okay. She wanted to know if it was her turn to play on the iPad yet. But anyway, talking about being real, they're the sweetest little girls. I've got 3 grandbabies, and they are all 3 so adorable. 2 little girls and a little boy, and oh my gosh, has that little boy rocked our world. Anyway, so that's a little bit about me. Hopefully, we will have a lot more time together. Hopefully. This may just be me, my sister, my daughters, a couple friends that watch, but time will tell. We'll see. If time allows and we get to take this journey together, then hopefully you'll get to learn more about me, and you'll get to maybe even see my grandbabies pop in every now and then. Just got to roll with it. But anyway, so let's get started with what's going on around our cottage. Like I said earlier, most of my crafting, most of my handmade, most of my making is knitting and crocheting. However, I do embroidery, sewing, I paint by number, gardening, I don't know, just a lot of fun things. I can't remember all of them right now, but let's get started with what is out of my bags, or I guess most people will call them finished objects. It would be finished objects. What is out of my bags? And I'm going to share with you what I've made recently, maybe the month of December. If you follow me on Instagram, you may have seen some of this as I'm working on it, or I don't know if I've posted these finished objects or not, but anyway, these are things that are out of my bags. This is called the 100 stitch. Let me hold it up, I guess. I'm going to have to work on this because you're not getting a clear enough shot. This is my 100 stitch hat, and it's by Andrea Mowry, who is one of my newest favorite. She's not new, but I've recently discovered her. She's one of my favorite, new favorite. Yeah, I probably shouldn't have done that because that's going to mess up my hair. But anyway, that might get edited out. It's the 100 Stitch Hat by Andrea Mowry. Is that showing up? I love it. It is made from alpaca. I used alpaca. I bought in the mountains when Todd and I were up there over in December. But anyway, it's beautiful. Love that. Then I made the sockhead hat, Kelly McClure, and this was the first no makers I used. Oh my goodness. Can you see that? It is so wonderful. Love, 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 love this. So that's pretty. Those are both for me. I do a lot of selfish knitting. So those are 2 of the things that are out of my bags. And then I did some Christmas knitting for my grandbabies. And I did the Bracken sweater. Now these I did post. I know I posted them as I was working on them. I don't know if I posted finished objects. And I only have 2 of them. Jude's is obviously at his house. But this is one for Natalie. And anyway, I don't know if you can even, I don't even know if that's going to pick up that definition. I'm probably too far away from my camera. And we'll work that out too. That's Natalie's. This is Amelia's. She's the 5-year-old. The boys is a little different construction. It doesn't have this drop in the back. It just goes straight across all the way around. His is in a navy blue or a black. Really, it's so dark. This is Little Woolens. Amazing pattern. So let's start with the whips, which I'm calling what is in my bags. This is a commission blanket or a commission throw that I'm working on. And it is so pretty. I'm hoping to have it done within a week. And that way I can get back to my selfish knitting. But so that is one of the things I'm doing. Just made up the pattern. Nothing fancy. Just made it up. Then I'm doing, I'm also working on some of the, I did the little Bobbins Knits, Little Bobbins Knits, Christmas Eve cast on. It's being housed in this. A friend of mine bought that for me. Keep Calm and Carry Yarn. Several years ago for my birthday. Got one of the socks finished. Still have cast. I still have to do my ends, but it is the Spice Man pattern, and that's for you like this. The Spice Man pattern. It's by Yarnissima. I think that's. I don't know. I'd have to put my glasses on, but let me see if I wrote it down. Yeah, Yarnissima. Great pattern. It fits my feet like a glove, like a sock. And then I just made up this rib pattern. This is, let me see, I'm gonna get it right. It's Heritage Prints. And it's okay. I'm doing it on, I'm getting ready to cast on the other sock. I'm doing it on size 0 needles, which is what I do all of my socks on. Always do magic loop. It's just what I like. I prefer. I used to do 2 at a time, so I'd never have second sock syndrome. But I don't really tend to have second sock syndrome. I usually only have 2 pairs going at a time. One is in my carry-on bag, which I keep in my purse. I call those my carry-on bags. That way, no matter where I get stuck, I always have some knitting to do with me. And that's usually a pair of socks. And then I don't take that out until it's finished. And then I always have another pair going. So I'm not one to have a lot of socks going or finish one sock and then put it down. I tend to finish my socks. So, having said all that, I kind of quit the 2 at a time. I think it's slower. In the end, it's probably the same. When you're done, you have 2 pairs of socks. It may have taken you longer to get to that point. And then if you do one at a time, you finish one and you have another one to do. But it seems faster to me if I'm doing one and then starting another one. That 2 at a time, it just seems like it takes so long. And I got bored doing them that way, so I stopped. I also have a Cozy Memories blanket, but I forgot to bring that up here. I got excited about that a long time ago. Oh, no, not a long time ago. A year ago I started. So I will show you. I will put that on an episode, but I'll probably more than likely put that on Instagram. And I'm following the Zoe Knit Girl version. I know a lot of people are doing just the individual squares, and hers are more diagonal. I love that. I also want to start the crochet rabbit hole. I'm going to do a granny square. Like I need another blanket to cast on. I think I've probably got 6 blankets going. But anyway, what's a girl to do? It is what it is. And then this one. Oh my gosh. In this bag. First of all, this bag. It is by Girl So Sheepy. Oh my lands. And you should check out her podcast. Very, very interesting. Love it. Okay. Isn't that gorgeous? I love feathers. Girl's so sheepy. Anyway, what I have in here, close your eyes. It is so beautiful. It is the hottest. I don't want to fall off my needles, so I'm trying to be very careful. Anyway, are your eyes closed? Okay. You can start to open them. It's gorgeous. Be prepared to be impressed. It's the Find Your Fate shawl by Andrea Mowry. Oh my goodness. Can you stand it? Is that not gorgeous? This is so amazing. I cannot tell you how much fun this shawl is to knit. All knit. All knit. I love that because as these rows grow, you're not purling back. I love that. Oh, this is Molly's from Homespun House yarn. Oh, I love her yarn. Love her yarn and her podcast. This is from the Lemonade Shop, Etsy. Oh my lands. This is chocolate frosting. It is my absolute most favorite yarn. I made a pair of socks out of it with the glitter base. Then I love the colorway so much that I ordered 2 more skeins without the glitter. So this does not have glitter in it. But I'm in love with that. It's gorgeous. You just want to lick it. Ah! And then this green was something I bought at Stitches South by Hunter's Raven, I think. Raven's Hunter, something like that. I'd never used that yarn before. It's I love the color. I love the feel. It was just a little splitty at times. So I don't know if that's all their yarn. I don't know if it's just this. I'll definitely use the rest of it because green is my favorite color. But this is nice. Molly's and Lemonade Shop, or Homespun House, I guess I should say, in case you don't know who Molly is. I mean, like, who doesn't? This is, both of them. I will be so wrapped up in this shawl all the time. I want to do nothing else. I just want to sit and knit on this and knit on this and knit on this. It's so intuitive. It's so addictive. So stay tuned. Then the next thing in my bags, and this is in my Lowland Original bag. I love her bags. Oh my goodness, Renee. I have several of her bags and several on my wish list, but she's got, go to Etsy. It's called Lowland Originals. And, look at the inside of that. Look at the inside of the bag. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh, beautiful. So, in this bag is my cast on. It was Winter Solstice cast on. And it's called Book People. This is what it's going to look like. Book People by softsweaterknits.com. And when I stopped knitting on this, just for a day, I had already knit about that much. It was so enjoyable. It's lace, but it's not hard at all. And I was knitting on it, and then I'd set it down. My granddaughter wanted me to dress her baby doll, so I helped her dress her baby doll, handed it back to her. But when I handed it back to her, I handed it back to her with the yarn. Not the project, the yarn that was attached to the project. So, she carries the baby doll off, and there goes my shawl. So this is what's left of it. I had to wind it back up and start again, and I haven't started again yet. But this yarn, oh my goodness. It is by a friend of mine in Norway. Her name is Karen, but her brand is Made Vic Craving. Mad Vic Craving? Made Vic Craving. Creating. Let me show you the tag. Made Vic Yarns. you see that? Oh, you guys, you have to go get some. She has an Etsy shop. It is so delicious and so beautiful. The colors. This, I don't know if you can see, but it has a stellina in it. Oh yeah, you can see a little bit of it. Oh, you guys, it is so beautiful. She sent me this, and as a gift for Christmas, I think. I think it was their Christmas gift. I don't know. It was a Christmas with a bunch of Merry Christmas stuff in it. Anyway, Karen and I met probably a year ago. We decided to, I don't know if she contacted me or I contacted her, I can't even remember now, about doing a swap for the mini skein swap for our blankets. And we just had, she's just the sweetest friend. But anyway, this is her yarn. She started to dye her own yarns. So good. So anyway, it's going to still be called my Winter Solstice Cast On, even though it's going to be recast on sometime in 2017, well after winter has started. But this pattern was meant for this. I mean, it's just like a pattern speaks to you. I call it pattern finds me. It's just like when I go junking or antiquing, things find me and they have to be brought home with me. It's not really what I'm looking for. It's not even, I just go. It's not like I'm looking for anything. It's just whatever speaks to me has to come home with me. So sometimes what speaks to me doesn't speak to anybody else. I was with my mom. She's so funny. I forget what it was, a pillow, I think. And I picked it up and I said, Mom, isn't this beautiful? And she looked around and she went, no. I was like, well, it was to me. So guess what? I bought it. I brought it home and I love it. And I don't care if anybody else likes it or not. I love it. So things speak to me. And this pattern and this Find Your Fade pattern are two patterns that have spoke to me. They found me. I don't even know how I found these two patterns. Cruising Ravelry, as you do. And it was before, I don't know that this one is this one. This is the Book People. This one is the Made That the Find Your Fade. I don't even know if the Find Your Fade, if it was, when I found it, I don't even think it was the rave like it is now. It's just, I found it and it was like it took my breath away. You have to knit one of these. If you haven't started, you have to. I've got my friends knitting them. My sister's knitting it. You have to knit it. It's amazing. So that is all that's in my bags right now. My active bags. Now I have baggage. I have a lot of baggage. And that's what I'm calling the works that have been in progress for a long time. And there's no way I could show all those on one episode, but I thought I would show you one project that's in my baggage. It was started, gosh, I don't even remember how long ago it was, but I was on a knitting trip with some friends and we were at Creative Yarns down in Georgia, and I want to say it's Macon, but I'm really not sure. That's the cutest little yarn shop. It's one of my favorites. But anyway, she had this sample up on her wall and it was so beautiful. And there were, I think, 3 or 4 of us together at the time, 3 of us, and we just like, we are going to make that. So we bought every bit of yarn she had at the time. It was Mission Falls yarn too, I think, and it's not even, it was discontinued. But anyway, it's in this Mission Falls book. And it's called, this is called the Simple Book. I think it's spring 2001. And it's the Karma Throw. And they don't have a finished picture of it here. Kind of, yeah, they kind of do. Right here, it's this one right here. It's this old pattern because the photography is old. But anyway, the other grandbaby shop. Yes.
Is it my turn yet?
Yes, it's your turn, Teller.
Nellie! It's my turn!
My turn. Okay, this is it's a wrap. Is that not beautiful? And it goes on and on, and then it stops. This end will have another of this on the end. I want to get this out of baggage. And it's moving into in my bags. It has to be finished. My goal is to have this finished before fire pit weather. I know, it is fire pit weather. That's what my husband always tells me. Joyce, it is fire pit weather. But when it's really cold, I don't like fire pits. I like them when it's fall to early winter or late winter to early spring. When it's, like cool, but not freezing. So anyway, I want this done before end of February, 1st of March, so that when I'm out at the fire pit, I can wrap this around me, or when I take my morning garden strolls, I can wrap this around me. Isn't that beautiful? So that's my baggage. That's some of my baggage. It's good baggage to have, though. Everybody needs some baggage. Everybody's got baggage. So that is what my baggage is. Put that back down in there. And let's take a drink. My tea bag is Winter Solstice by Mighty Leaf. Oh my goodness, it's so good. Should have probably been taken out by now because it's really strong, but it's delicious. Let me tell you what's keeping this hot. My mother bought me this for Christmas, and it is my most treasured Christmas gift that I got this. Well, I don't know if it's treasured, but it is, you probably can't see. Ouch, it's cast iron. This is hot. There's a little tea light down in there, and you just set your mug on top of it, like so. See that? And it keeps it warm. You can even set a teapot as long as the base isn't so big that it covers all the holes and puts out the fire, but it is so wonderful. So now I always have hot tea, no matter how long it takes me to drink the tea. Okay, so let's move on to my next segment. It's a craft I'm not that great at. Like, I feel like knitting and crocheting, I've got it down. I feel like, okay, I'm not a master by any means, but I can pretty much sit down and figure anything out, and I enjoy it. It's not really a struggle. I say that, but I don't know how many times I felt like my knitting was going to make me cry. But anyway, having said that, you know what I'm talking about. That I've conquered. This little girl back here, I call her Trixie. This is called, my sewing segment is going to be called Bag of Tricks, because let me tell you, when anything comes off of that machine back there, it's kind of magical. Because I'm not that great. I've never had a sewing lesson. I've just kind of self-teaching, going to YouTube, calling my sister on the phone, that kind of stuff, sending a lot of text. But I'm determined that I'm going to conquer the beast. I have done a quilt on it. So that, I don't know if you can see right there. That's a stash of fabrics. I've got fabric stash like I do yarn in closets and in cupboards, and but that is what I've pulled out. I'm going to start some quilts this year, and so I've pulled out the fabrics. I've gotten that far, I'm getting ready. So be prepared. Maybe by the next time I podcast, I will have one actually cut out. Maybe a few of them. I don't know how my cat got in here. I don't know if you saw her. Anyway, yesterday I started making, two of my friends came over last night, so I made them these herby bags. And theirs is finished. Doesn't take me long. I just stuff them with barley, and I stuffed theirs with peppermint leaves, barley, and saturated with peppermint oil, because peppermint's supposed to be good for inflammation. And so we kind of have a arthritis thing going on, I guess. But anyway, so this one, by the time I cut and cut to get the fabrics to match, it turned out kind of small. So I thought, well, I'll just save this one for us around here. I'm going to fill it up. But anyway, this is what I've pulled out of my bag of tricks. And, but my goal is to have something off of Trixie. So I would love to have a handmade closet, a handmade wardrobe. That is my goal, my ultimate goal. I think I said that in the introduction. Goes along with my homesteading life. But I really, really want to do that. That is my aim. I mean, I just think it would just be so cool to go in and wear what you've made. I did make, I made a dress this fall, but it wasn't magical. So, but I learned a lot. So, you know, I'm gonna start with some skirts for the spring and summer and see where that leads. But I love the idea of having a handmade wardrobe. So that is, that's my bag of tricks. And the next segment I'm going to call my book bag. And I thought I would share just some books that I'm reading now. My goal this year is to read more. Our knitting group has started, we kind of turned it into a knitting group, plus we're reading a book each month. And this month we're reading The Book That Matters Most by Anne Hood. It is so good. I love Anne Hood. She's a knitter, and she usually incorporates some kind of knitting in the book. Not so much this one, but it is in here. It's laced in here. But this is such a good book. I would encourage all of you to read it. It's really, really good. So I thought I would share my books that I'm reading from time to time on the book bag segment. And I don't know, hopefully you'll enjoy it. I'll try and get a video of my little nook. There's a lot of yarn. A lot of it was acquired from, I used to work at my local yarn shop, which is 5 minutes down the road, and I worked for yarn. I was a newer knitter at the time, and I worked for a lot of yarn that now I'm like, what do I do with this? I had projects in mind at the time, and I've long forgot those projects. That was so many years ago. It was probably 6 years ago. So I'm working my way through the stash. That is one of the things I want to do this year. So I want to be better about working from my stash. Not that I don't want to buy new yarn, but when I buy new yarn, I want to have a project for it. I think it's weird because I think Sue and Chelsea from Legacy Knits podcast, awesome podcast, we're talking about this morning, and I want to read the book that Chelsea was talking about. But I had already been, and me and my friends had just talked about this last night. I really want to be better about intentional knitting, intentional living. Like sock yarn, like see this back here? That is all of my fingering weight or my sock yarn. I'll buy that anytime, anywhere, any place. I love it. And I feel like I'll always use it. You've got socks, you've got shawls, you've got, like with my Find Your Fade shawl, I was just able to whoosh, go to my stash and pull it out. That was great for that. So it's not that I don't want to acquire more, but I want to intentionally use what I have. So that is something else. It kind of takes me to another twist. One of the things I want to do with this podcast is I'm going to call it my gift bag. And I've got so much yarn and so many books, knitting books that I've acquired down through the years that I just feel like are not being used. So I'm going to have some, I don't know what you call them. I'm not starting any knit-alongs to draw prizes from because I don't feel like I'm far enough along in the game to do that. But I plan to have some kind of drawings, and how we build up to that, I don't know. If you have some ideas, let me know. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to read through my books and flip through my books and work through them And if there's patterns in them that I want to do, I want to do them. If they're patterns, because sometimes you buy things that at the moment they're really you. And then as time passes on, they're not so much you. And so I thought what I would do is the ones that are in good condition, which most of them are, because to be honest with you, I love books so much. So I take care of them for one thing, but I've not really, some of them, I bet I haven't even fully looked through. So I thought I'm going to start working through my yarn. I'm going to start working through my pattern books. And if there's yarn or pattern books that are of good quality and I don't think I'm going to use them, then I need to give them as prizes. I need to put them in a prize bag, and then that is what I need to gift and give a gift bag and give them away as gifts. So I picked one out around the Christmas season, and I looked through it, and this, oh my gosh, I keep looking at this and thinking, are you sure? Are you sure you want to give this away? I've read it. I sat down and I read it from cover to cover. It is such a great book, but I'm not going to knit from it. I'm not going to crochet from it. Some of the ideas I've already done in one form or another. So I think it's time. I think it's time to pass it on. It is the Granny Chic book, which is my favorite style of decorating, Granny Chic. This is going to be one of those things that I regret doing. It's going to be in your home, and I'm going to be going, dang, why did I do that? Anyway, maybe not. Maybe I'll really realize, what was it Sue said this morning, that decluttered home is a decluttered mind. Maybe I'll realize it feels so good to just give it away that I'll have more room for knitting ideas in my head. But I mean, great ideas. I mean, isn't that beautiful? And it's just throughout their style of decorating. Their ideas are just so beautiful. It's a book by Dottie Angel and Ted and Agnes, which their names are Rachel LeBlond and Tiff Russell. No, Tiff Fusel, Tiff, I don't know. Here it is. Here it is, but I don't have my glasses on. So. Okay. Much better. Tiff Fussell and Rochelle Blondell. There you go. Tiff Fussell or Fusel and Rochelle Blondell. That's who wrote the book. Couldn't get it here in the U.S. for a while. And then I waited and finally got it, and now I'm ready to pass it on. Just happened to be the first book I pulled out. I almost put it back. Almost thought, no, not this one. And I thought, nope, that's not the way we're doing it. We're going to work through them. So this will be go into our prize bag, and then whenever we have a prize drawing, I'll send this out. And I really need help with that. Please tell me if you have any ideas. Leave them in the comments below or message me on Ravelry. I'm not really good on Ravelry. Don't message me on Ravelry. Message me on Instagram. That's where I'm most active. And everything is under Ruby Moss Cottage. So my Instagram account, my Ravelry account, and the podcast are all Ruby Moss Cottage. So anyway, if you have any ideas of what we can do, games we can play, games, that's not it. My mind's drawing a blank, but what do they call them? Anyway, how we can do giveaways, different ways to do giveaways. Give me a post, and and we'll see what we come up with. So anyway, I think that's it. Thank you so much. If you're still hanging in there, I think I have 5 more minutes so before the camera shuts off again. So this was close to an hour, my first podcast. But some of that will be edited out. But thank you from the bottom of my heart. This is really, I've been a lifelong dream. It's very touching to me. I'm glad I did it. I hope there'll be another episode. We'll see when this is edited. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. I might have been looking at the wrong thing the whole time, or I might be having hair stuck up, or I might be 50 feet back or way too close, not loud enough. Who knows what it's going to turn out to be like. But I've had fun. I've pushed my limits. I've done something I've wanted to do for a long time. And that's it. My word for the year is live. Last year it was become who you are. And I felt like I strived for that all year long. And then this year, I just wanted, I was like, what is the word? What is the word? And it just came to me. It's live. Live and let live. So thank you. That's what I did here today. And we'll see how it goes. Maybe I'll get better. Hopefully I'll get better. I may never be comfortable sitting here. It may never look as easy as it does for other podcasters, but you know what? It's fun. So anyway, tell everybody you know about it so we can keep doing this. Hit the subscribe button, put the thumbs up button, leave me a comment, anything I could do better, anything that bugged you. I'm up for constructive criticism, not mean-spirited, but kind of nice. But I've enjoyed hanging out with you. I look forward to sharing more of my life here at the cottage. Some of the things we're doing. I don't really have any big projects going right now other than this slow, easy winter crafting of knitting, crochet, sewing, doing some embroidery, paint by number, always have something on my easel. So anyway, thank you. And like I say, you can follow me on Instagram. That's where I'm most active. Ravelry. Let me know what you think about a Ravelry group. I don't know that I am really bad about posting my stuff on Ravelry. So we'll see. We'll see where it leads. If I talk too fast, I'm sorry. That's another problem I've tried to be conscious of. But anyway, goodbye for now. Live and let live. And just remember, in all that you do, take it one stitch at a time. Bye.